And this evening, 2 other rallies have been held with the aim of healing divisions after the EU referendum.
Yes, hundreds of people have gathered in Leicester and Nottingham tonight, where they're taking a stand against racism. Well, our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball is in the Old Market Square. Good evening, Jeremy. What's happening there?
Well, Geeta, the rally's just broken up. Really strong feelings here tonight. Hundreds of people, several hundred people braved the rain to respond to those tensions that followed the referendum last week. Down the road, the Bishop of Leicester has just issued a statement calling for unity. That's a letter that's been signed by a string of political leaders and religious leaders locally. Back here in the Market Square, well, you can see some of the posters that were being held up earlier. Posters that said no racism, no hate, solidarity. We've heard really passionate speeches that prompted rapturous applause here. And I've been speaking to the father of a Polish teenager who was targeted just yesterday at her school in Nottinghamshire.
She said that she was verbally abused, she was called names, and apart from that, the other pupil told her that she will slap her, and if she doesn't go back to Poland, she will buy a ticket for her by herself. Before the Thursday referendum, there was no such issues. Everyone was friendly, and now we're waking up to an absolutely different world.
Well, Nottinghamshire police have told us they've seen a small increase in hate crime reports over the last few days, with 9 incidents against immigrants that they think might be linked to the referendum. What we're also being told, though, is that those reports to the police might just be the tip of the iceberg. And today's rally has been organised by Stuart Halforty. Stuart, how concerned are you about these reports?
Well, I'm gravely concerned. I mean, it's only been a few days since the referendum result was announced, and already we've heard terrible stories of children being harassed at school in the playground and attacks on Polish shops in House and Green. So, yeah, we're very concerned.
Really big turnout tonight, despite the rain. What are you hoping this achieves?
It's an incredible turnout. Well, I think what it sets down a marker that says that however you voted, whether you voted to leave or remain, we didn't vote for a divided society. We didn't vote for an increase in racism, and Nottingham stands together to say we won't tolerate that.
There were lots of posters here, though, that said everyone stays. There'll be a lot of people watching this who'll say that is not what I voted for last week.
Well, I think a lot of people were misled during the referendum. They were told that this was a referendum on immigration, and that's not what it was. If Britain chooses to remain in the European Economic Area, it would still have to accept the free movement of people. So we don't want people to be misled. We don't want the rise in racism. We want people who have come to Britain to work to know that they can stay in Britain after this referendum.
Stuart, thanks for joining us. That's a debate that I think is going to continue for some time. Nottinghamshire Police, by the way, say that if anybody has been a victim of hate crime, they should report it, they should come forward, and the police say they will do everything they can to bring the perpetrators to justice.